So I was sitting here thinking today, and I asked myself the question, will the Charlotte Hornets ever be good again? I mean, as a fan of the Hornets, I've been tortured for the last 7 years. Honestly, I wasn't even really watching basketball the last time we made the playoffs, which was 2016. Al Jefferson and Kemba Walker were out there lighting it up. But right now, this team is in a very bad spot. We don't have a coach anymore. Steve Clifford is moving up into an executive role. Have no idea who I want to be the head coach for us. I got to do some research on that. But the last 2 years, we've won a total of 48 games. This year, going 21-61, and we've really been left to pick up the pieces. LaMelo Ball only played in 22 games this year. Mark Williams only played in 19 games. That's two starting pieces right there. Of course, we traded Terry Rozier. We traded Gordon Hayward at the deadline, so clearing up about $60 million in cap space for next year. And then Terry's contract down the line has been cleared up. So I did like those moves at the deadline. Also bringing in nice pieces like Grant Williams, Trey Mann, Vasai Micic, and Seth Curry / Davis Bertans. We'll see which one of those guys or either gets to stick around. But those are nice depth pieces. Alexei Pokusevsky is also on the roster. We got to see 28 games of Cody Martin this year, which, I mean, he didn't exactly impress us, but it was all right, I guess. The big takeaway from this year is Miles Bridges is still him, and Brandon Miller is an absolute dog. We have us a big three in Charlotte, and it's time to let them grow and develop. We got to hope that LaMelo's ankles stay healthy. Remember that stretch this year for about 10-12 games where he was able to be in the lineup every single night. He went out, he put up like 32, 8, and 8 on 45% shooting from three. He was going crazy in like mid-November to December, and then the ankle injury struck again. So I think the things we have to do this offseason to keep us competitive, obviously one is keep Miles Bridges around. We'll talk about our cap situation and everything here in a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. We have to make the right pick because we are, a solid wing away from having a really, really good young starting lineup, one of the best young starting lineups in the league. They could probably rival the Oklahoma City Thunder if things pan out. And then we need a couple more, two-way shooters off the bench. It'll depend on if they want to keep Micic around as the backup point guard. If they don't, then we will have to spend money there to get us a solid backup point guard, because having a solid backup point guard in the NBA is one of the most underrated things that you could do. Now, I said we would look at our payroll, and let's go ahead and do that. Heading into next year, we should have around $40 million, which is good because Miles Bridges is due. He's an unrestricted free agent. He wants to stay in Charlotte. He's stated this multiple times. LaMelo loves playing with him. Brandon Miller loves playing with him. Honestly, it looked like for most of the season this year, Miles and Brandon Miller were the only two players on this team that wanted to win. We have LaMelo and Brandon Miller under team control through 2027. It will be a huge mistake not to take advantage of this and sign Miles Bridges to a long-term deal. If you look at some of the contracts that we have on this team for next year, Davis Bertans, who I wouldn't even hate keeping around, he will be the first guy we're going to actually look at the stats on this year, which is kind of crazy. But 9 points per game for the Hornets this year. He played about 21 minutes in about 28 games, shot at 40% from the field, 38% from three on 6.3 attempts, and I would not hate at all having him coming in off of our bench to knock down the three ball. He has $16 million, or up front it says $16 million, but only 5.2 of that is guaranteed on his contract next year. So I would definitely keep him around. Maybe some of those incentives kick in, but you keep that $5.5 million, then you're down to about $36 million to spend, and that is not including Seth Curry, who probably we will let walk. He's going to be 32. He's got no money guaranteed on his deal. Maybe we just cut that. Poku, I don't know, what the Hornets are thinking here. Have we seen enough of Poku to keep him around? I'm not sure, but he is guaranteed zero of his $2.2 million on his contract next year. Bryce McGowan's is guaranteed zero of his $2 million next year, so there's an extra $8 million. You cut all those guys, you can play around with JT Thor, same thing, another $2 million. You got $10 million here sitting that if you start making some cuts, you could have close to $50 million this year in free agency. Looking at the draft, we are currently tied with the Blazers We actually fell on the short end of that stick by beating the Cavs at the end of the year. The one game, or one of the games it would be okay if we lost, we won. So we have a 2.2% chance to get the number 8 pick, a 16.4% chance to get the number 7 pick, 24% chance to get number 6, 6.8 to get number 5, 11.7 to get number 4, and then we got about a 13% chance to get 1 through 3. So we'll probably end up dropping to 6 knowing our luck, or it's probably about time for the lottery gods to strike back against us, because the last couple of years we've gotten very lucky being able to jump up and get LaMelo Ball, being able to jump up and get Brandon Miller. Speaking of these two guys, we'll talk about their seasons real quick. Brandon Miller, as a rookie, 17.3 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1 steal, 0.6 blocks, 44% shooting from the field, 37% from 3 on 6.7 attempts at 21 years of age. That is a heck of a rookie season, Brandon Miller. I was wrong, I admit it. I was very wrong about you, but I'm so glad you proved me completely wrong. LaMelo on the year averaged 24 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 4 turnovers is atrocious. He's only got a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Not good considering he's averaging 8 assists, but he's still 22 years old, and he still only played 22 games this year, where he averaged about 32 minutes, putting up 43% shooting from the field, 36% from 3 on 9 attempts. Again, Melo never really could. This isn't a fair, season to see from him. He never could really get it going, never could play a few games consecutively, so I'm not going to hold that against him. In the draft, we have to hit on this draft pick. If we get top 6 and it's from picks 3 to 6, anywhere in there, I think we got to go Cody Williams. I think he is the move. Now, obviously, if we get 1 or 2, then Alex Sarr, and then Zachary Riza-Shea. I think that's our top 3 there. You want to get another good wing in. I mean, imagine this lineup next year and in the future rolling out LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, one of Riza-Shea or Cody Williams with Miles Bridges and Mark Williams. That is tough. With Micic, Trey Mann, Grant Williams, Davis Bertans, Nick Richards. You got Cody Martin you can throw in there. You got whoever you want to sign this offseason. Say we give Miles Bridges $30 million, then we still have another 10, maybe even $20 million, depending on who we cut this offseason. There is a lot of ways we can go about this, and I really like our new management. I think they're going in the right direction. They started out with a home run in getting Brandon Miller. We'll see who the new coach is, but I think there is starting to be some light at the end of the tunnel, given that we have yet another top 5 pick, $50 million in cap space, and 4 really good young guys. Because yes, Mark Williams, I consider him a really good young guy after averaging 13, 10, and a block a game. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below, as it really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. And if you like the new mic, if you noticed, let me know down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.